But
And man, hey, Julio Jones has announced his retirement. He is out of the. He is gone. One of the greatest to ever do it. He played 166 games. He ended with 13,703 yards, 914 catches, and 66 touchdowns. And so that brought us up to the topic of the greatest receivers of all time. And Julio Jones is in that realm, in
he's
that
in that
upper
discussion.
echelon of the greats. But when we talk top five, the wonderful top five of all time, does Julio make it? I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so.
First off, we gotta stop disrespecting. We gotta stop the
I
disrespect. That's my major. This is my major argument with this because we're talking crazy as if he's not one of them ones, bro. As if he's
But
not
I
like
told you.
a top receiver. He does have to be top five. I understand that, but like we're just gonna act like
But I told you I would say he's got an argument for top 10.
100%.
He's got an argument for top 10.
100%.
But the man still had a season in which he dropped double digit touchdowns. But hey, that's neither. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Okay, that don't even. But that brought us to our top five list. I think we agreed on four of the five. No particular order. We can give our order if you want to, but no particular order.
We can do who we had top four and then give our order top four. Discuss five.
All right. So we got Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, and Terrell Owens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I think, hey, we can agree with that. And I'm with you.
100%. Those four, to me, they're lot loaded. Different reasons, of course, for each.
Different reasons. And I think for me, I think I would kind of put them in the order in which I just read them out. I would put Jerry at 1, Randy at 2, Larry at 3, and T.O. at 4. I don't know how you would go about it, but that's kind of
okay. For me personally, I put Randy number 1. Not only my favorite receiver.
Actually, my bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but Jerry at number 1. I forgot Jerry number 2. Jerry number 2, Randy number 3, Larry number 4, and T.O. number 5. But go ahead. You know it. Go ahead.
That's crazy. For me, I'm gonna go Randy number 1. He has 6 straight seasons. Start off as
over Jerry.
Hold up. Listen to me now. Start off his rookie season. Rookie season, 5 straight seasons afterwards, 1,000 yards, 10 total seasons of double-digit touchdowns. 10 total seasons of 1,000 yards. 9 seasons of double-digit touchdowns. He was 30 years old, 30 ball.
Jerry Rice played till he was 40. Jerry Rice played till he was 40. But
in a whole different style of NFL that was run first. But we could digress to that.
Run first. Jerry Rice, exactly, run first and was still putting up the numbers that he put up. But continue.
Over how many seasons?
The man played 19 seasons and almost had 23,000 receiving yards.
I'm not trying to take that from him, but like you said,
that is more than 1,000 yards a season. That is more than 1,000 yards a season when they ran the damn ball. And the man was damn near 40 years old, Chris, going for 1,000. Not even damn. He was 40 years old going for 1,000 yards.
I understand that. But compared to your number 1, we gotta keep moving. But Randy had 23 touchdowns at the age of 30, playing on 30 touchdowns or 23 touchdowns.
I mean, Randy.
Now,
hey, look, there's a reason why. There's a reason why we was little jits out there You know, we during recess and stuff, we throwing the ball up. We playing Moss. Randy Moss had his spot in the culture. Randy is number 3.
Culture effect on that. From me personally, now I'm not gonna disrespect Jerry Rice because numbers most of the time do not lie.
It sounds like you are.
He had a progressive season. He had a progressive career, amazing career, footwork, route running, impeccable, untouchable, arguably the best route runner in NFL history. Now that's why Jerry is my number 2. Over his total career, like we said, almost 2,300 yards, 197 touchdowns for Joe Montana. My number 3. I'm going to go T.O. T.O. had 6 straight seasons
But you
as
said
well.
that's why he's number 2. Oh my goodness.
We going
Continue.
personal. My personal
Come on,
favorite receiver is
okay.
Randy Moss. Ain't nothing gonna change about that. I'm sorry.
I
You can argue with
respect
me if
it.
you want to, but we can agree to
I
disagree
respect
on
it.
that. Now,
I respect it.
number three for me personally, what I've seen growing up, I'm going T.O. I've always been a fan of T.O. Just like how I guess you could say similar to
Chris said to
Prime.
hell with the
His effect,
longevity.
his
To hell with the
effect.
longevity.
If it's longevity, we gotta change up the list on a lot of people. We gotta change it up a lot of people. We gotta go
No,
longevity
I'm not.
career.
That's fair, but I'm just saying based off of we had a lot of different things that got us to this point. But go ahead.
Your stats don't mean everything to me when it comes to my favorites.
No, not at all. And that's why Julio ain't top 5, because you look at the numbers, Julio might be up there, but we watch Julio play. Continue.
Exactly. Now, T.O. another motherfucking problem out there to field. Because not only is T.O. got to dominate, he got to let you know he's dominating. He got to let you know what he got to do. Do something about it. Do something about it. That man also had a 6-year stretch of 1,000 yards, 8 double-digit touchdown seasons. He scored 16 touchdowns in the season, and the end of his career with almost 1,600 receiving yards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then my number 4, personally.
Hey, look though. You do know he's number 3 on that all-time list of receiving yards.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. You know, Larry almost got 2,000 more than he do, right?
100%. And that's why he's my number 4.
Okay.
Partially why he's my number 4, why he makes my top 5 too. He has 17,500 receiving yards, 121 total touchdowns over a season, had 9 seasons of 1,000 yards, 5 double-digit season touchdowns seasons. So 5 seasons with double-digit touchdown numbers. And like we both agreed, Larry is that Mr. Consistent. Mr. Consistent. He's going to go out, always get it done. He also played on teams where his receiving load carried. Exactly, bro. Exactly. He was out there practicing like that Super Bowl season, out there having to practice against likes of Dominique Cromartie, Antron Roll, who at the time was one of the top defensive backs in the league too.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry longevity as well too. Like, he's not the fastest. He can run. He's an amazing route runner.
Definitely ain't that.
But hands-wise, when it comes to hands, you throw it to the he got to catch it. He's got to catch it. Like, you got to have to cheap shot him, like, clip him in the air, like, really try to not, like, bounty hit that man to make him drop that ball. And Larry's going to go out and get it done for you each and every Sunday. 100%. Personally,
before I get into my
favorites, he's just going to be my number 4.
No, I guess. So, like, what really started this conversation the other day was Julio retirement, and I had to tell him Julio wasn't even the best during his time. Of course, we had Calvin Johnson. Megatron was a monster, was a beast. We had Hans Ward. We had them boys. We had some nice people come throughout the time. Do you want to get the people your number 5 before I get them my number 1? Because
go ahead, go through.
Oh well, hey, you ain't got to tell me more than once. Antonio Brown, AB is the greatest to ever do it. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can argue with your mama on that one. Take that to your grandma, whoever you want to. Antonio Brown, AB is just the greatest to ever do it, and there ain't no the man's 5'10", and there wasn't a soul that could guard him, and there just ain't. I don't have to say. I don't have nothing else to say. That man had Juju Smith-Schuster looking like an elite receiver. Juju Smith-Schuster was going for 1,200 yards on the other side of Antonio Brown. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, everything is open to opinions, of course, here on this podcast.
You cannot tell me why. Especially if you look at the 6-year stretch between 2013 to 2018, like.
So in that same stretch, right? You said 2013 to 2018. Now I will give.
Mind you, hold on. Also, let's mind you, at this point, they're still playing 16 games in a season. Like,
yeah, both him and Julio. Now here go my thing. 2013, I give him that year 2013 too. And
You talking
Antonio's
about when the boy had 1,500 yards, or you want to talk about in 2014 when he had 1,700?
Yeah, 2014 we had
Or you want to
1,700.
go? Or you want to go 1,500? Or
In
you want to go
2014 when
2015?
he had
Or
how
you
many?
want to go?
Hold
Or
on,
you
hold
want
on.
to go
Go ahead, go
2015
ahead.
when he had 1,800 yards? Continue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Julio had 1,800 yards also in 2015. Actually, he had. Let me look at this. More yards.
Oh, how
2015.
many
Yeah, he
touchdowns did
still
he
had
have?
more yards. 10.
Okay.
So let's also look at if we want to do that. Let's also look at the Falcons' offensive percentage in 2015 proficiency. That's what I'm looking for. Proficiency
What are we
in
looking? What,
2015. I
I'm
mean,
not
you're
talking
comparing.
about
You're
one
bringing in
season.
Juju
I'm talking
stats.
about the whole.
You're bringing in Juju.
I'm talking about their whole career, top from their entire career. Antonio Brown not only better than Julio Jones, but the man's a top 5 receiver of all time. Like Antonio, bro went from 14, 17, 18, 13, 15. Like, come on, like that's 100. Like, who's doing that, bro? As a number 1 receiver year in and year out. They were double teaming this man. You're not doing anything with him. Antonio Brown was the best receiver in the league. Oh, and mind you, this is while Calvin Johnson's in the league. Like,
so both of them has 7,000-yard seasons, 7 apiece.
I'm not just talking about 1,000. I'm talking 15. I'm talking 1,700. I'm talking 1,800. Like, I'm not talking about who has more 1,500-yard seasons.
Let's look at that.
With
1, 2,
the double digit
3,
touchdowns,
4, 5.
just with the double digit touchdowns.
Let me see. We got Antonio Brown with 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons with over 1,000 yards at double digits. Julio has 1 season with 1,000-yard double digits. The touchdowns factor, I give it to Antonio Brown. Also, though, 2015.
What does it matter if you putting up these yards? If
your
we
offense, bro. Okay, is the receiver the whole offense? Is the receiver the whole offense? Let's go ahead and agree on this point. Is receiver the whole offense?
In 2017, how many touchdowns did he have?
2017, Julio had 3 touchdowns for 1,400
How many yards he had?
1,400
yards with 3 touchdowns. What are we doing? Well, you know what that was? Dropping touchdowns. He had over 15 drop touchdowns in that season.
The offense as a whole during that season was 21st in proficiency. You're telling me there are 20 teams. He's the only player, like we discussed. He's the only player in the offense. The only player. The offensive proficiency alone was 21. I hate to see the red zone proficiency as a whole. Because Antonio Brown, like you said,
Guess why it was down? Guess why it was bad? Because he kept dropping the damn ball. Because he kept dropping the damn ball.
Because of one player.
So he kept dropping the ball.
So you want to bring in Juju stats. You want to bring in Juju stats, but you got to compare Julio as an individual.
Because Julio Jones
was the only thing that
I'm bringing up Juju stats to show you Juju Smith-Schuster has never gone for 1,200 yards another season in his career. Juju Smith-Schuster when he was,
bro. That's looking at offense proficiency at that point. Because they also had a running back. They also had a tight end. So your number 1 receiver doesn't have to go out there and be the main point. Like, bro, we're not gonna act like they were double teaming.
You just said he had 1,400. Exactly, but he had 1,400 yards, Chris. If he can have 1,400 yards, you can score more than 21 damn points in a season.
Bro, you're getting double teamed. Who's double teaming Antonio Brown?
Nigga, you still had 1,400 yards.
Jordan, if you're getting double teamed, you have over 1,000 yards in the season. Bro. You're getting double teamed. Well, meanwhile, another guy who's
just you only gonna score 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, because if you get double team, what do you expect? There was one Calvin Johnson who was doing that. There was one other player that we can even mention.
That motherfucker, bro. Julio Jones is 6'4".
In 2018, he would have hit a Moss 2 people.
Julio Jones is 6'4", 225 pounds, runs a 4.4 with a 40-inch vertical.
And then we got the only difference between him and
Calvin Johnson. The only difference between him and Calvin Johnson is about 2 inches, and he's probably faster than Calvin Johnson.
And that is one player. The only player we can say, what, Randy Moss is the other argument? Who's Moss now? 2.
T.O.
We got 2. We got 3.
Jerry Rice. Like,
how tall is Jerry Rice?
Oh, I don't know how tall Jerry is.
Exactly, bro. He's not tall. And their whole offense was better.
But DeAndre, you talk about Moss. Like, look at DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, but then look at DeAndre Hopkins' numbers throughout the seasons and who he played for. Well, you're the
Yes,
only friend. We
we were
both know
literally talking about how they were wasting. What the hell was with him in Houston? The only time that man had
exactly.
a serviceable quarterback was in Arizona.
And the only serviceable quarterback that Julio had was Matt Ryan.
And how long did Matt Ryan play there?
How, bro? He played
How
there for
long?
all these years.
How long? How long was Matt Ryan his quarterback? And how long was Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins quarterback?
DeAndre Hopkins also had Deshaun Watson. He played 14 seasons
He
from
did. I forgot about. He did. He did have Deshaun Watson when when Deshaun Watson was good. I'll give you.
So
Okay.
Matt Ryan was there from 2008 to 2021. That's the best. That right there. All right,
That's Julio's
2008 to
career.
2021. 2015. Well, for Matt Ryan lead that quarterback, Julio be arguably the only threat on that offense. Their entire offense as a whole was ranked 21 in the entire
Hold on. I
league.
just
Bro.
realized what you said. You was talking about this man getting doubled. You don't think they were doubling Antonio Brown? Juju Smith-Schuster was not a factor. You could put your
They had
second.
Heath Miller too. But you just said he was a factor, but Antonio Brown made him good.
Yes.
Okay,
But I'm saying,
thing.
especially in the red zone. Let's talk red zone. In the red zone, let's talk. If they're doubling players in the red zone, Antonio Brown was still putting up touchdowns. Julio Jones was not putting up
They have a
points.
run game too. They have Le'Veon Bell. They have a shot, bro. When I'm
Does
trying to
not
point
take doubling a receiver does not affect your running game in the red zone.
they couldn't run a ball, bro, at all. Let me look at their red zone efficiency too. And what I'm trying to say is that I understand he had drop seasons. I understand that he scored less touchdowns. But if we gotta look at if we gotta sit here and blame it all on
Why
him,
was
where's the
that
rest
team
of his
so
team?
good?
They
That
had one
team,
season
granted,
they
it
were
was a
good. There was how many times the Falcons has won in the playoffs? How many times the Steelers won in the playoffs with a full team like we've already discussed? Like
Okay, but it's not just a quarterback. That playoff wins comes down to quarterback play, and at the end of the day, and Ben Roethlisberger is way better than Matt Ryan.
I'm not trying to knock. I'm not saying Antonio Brown is a top 10 receiver like Julio is. But what
He's
I'm
better
saying,
than Julio, is what I'm saying, and you're not going to sit here and tell me that he's not. I don't give a damn. I watched the man play football.
I
And
watched him too. But
exactly, and
I'm
there's no
saying he
reason.
had
There's no
more.
reason when you watch the games that there's no reason when I turn on the game on a Sunday, a Monday, or a Thursday that I watch this game and say, he's better than Antonio Brown. Julio Jones is better. No, he's not. Julio Jones is no,
There's
he's
different
not.
opportunities, bro. There's different opportunities there too. You have
All right, different opportunities. Let's put the same opportunity in Tampa Bay. Who won a ring?
the same opportunity.
In Tampa Bay, who won a ring?
They lost to the Chiefs. Who was getting more? Let me look at this.
Who
When he played at Tampa Bay,
who won a ring?
Antonio Brown's had 2 seasons in Tampa Bay. What year did he win that championship with Tampa Bay?
Oh, you said what year? It was with Tom. It was the what was that 20?
He played with Tampa Bay 2020 and 2021. Julio played at 2022. So Julio came the season after Antonio Brown quit.
He was supposed to be his replacement.
I was hurt. I didn't get to play. Like, how many games did he play?
Best ability is availability.
He played 10 games for 5 games started.
And how many yards did he have?
He had 299.
Okay. In Tampa Bay.
He had 43 targets.
AB played in 2020. AB played 8 games, started 4, and had 483 yards and 4 touchdowns. In 2021, he had 7 touchdowns, started 3 games, had 545 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I would definitely expect him to have more yards where Julio had 43 that one season. Both seasons, Antonio Brown had 62 targets.
You got a glare on your camera.
But even
It's all right.
But
Yeah,
no,
that's right.
yeah. But to my whole point of arguing, to me they're even, damn near even, is that I understand Julio was the main guy, the only guy for a lot of times in Atlanta. But how does that go against him? Where you're the only guy, you're the only guy, the only hope and savior, the one month the teams can game plan day in day out. Yes, they can both get double teamed, but then at least the Steelers are better or good enough to have other weapons to help your number one receiver also get a
Bro,
little
okay,
offense.
okay. You sitting here acting like the Falcons have just been ass. Like Rodney White is not a scrub. Well, Rodney White, he's not a scrub. But what's his name? Cordell Patterson's not a scrub. They have
He
Muhammad
didn't
Sanu. He's
play
not a
together.
scrub.
Cordero Patterson and Julio didn't play together. Roddy White career was done at 2015. Julio came into the league 2011. Roddy White had 2,000-yard seasons, scoring 8 of 7 touchdowns. 2011,
They
2012.
had Matt Ryan. Okay, in 2017, they had Matt Ryan and Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman is a good running back. They had Julio and Muhammad Sanu. Okay, and then on defense they had Grady Jarrett. They had Vic Beasley, Devondre Campbell. Like, bro, they had Desmond Trufant. Like, they had good.
You know what was going on in 2015?
This is 17. Go ahead, continue though.
2015 alone, who are they losing to?
In
Who made sure they
2015?
didn't make the playoffs?
In 2015?
Yes.
I'm trying to think in their
We
division. You got the Falcons.
we from North Carolina.
The Panthers. The Panthers. But that's the thing too. The Panthers were ass. Panthers were ass.
Exactly, bro. But the Steelers, how many times, bro?
And they were still the Panthers were ass, and they were still beating the Falcons.
Exactly. But you just said they were.
Exactly. Exactly, Chris.
Exactly, bro. When you have a team,
exactly,
team
Chris. No, exactly,
to the
Chris.
Panthers,
The Steelers division. The Steelers division is and always has been. The AFC North has always been tougher than the NFC South. And
100%,
they're
that's
coming
what I'm
out of
saying.
it. And he was doing more numbers. That's a division that it gets cold up there. It don't get cold down here. Most of them playing domes and stuff. So for him to be going for more yards, more receiving yards in the cold against better, I would say against a better division, better defenses, week in and week out. If anything, that's boosting my argument that motherfucker should have been doing more than what he was doing. He should have been going for 2,000 yards. Shit, there's no reason why Julio shouldn't have been Triple Crown winner the damn multiple seasons in a row.
So we just switch. If we switch their teams,
let's switch them.
You switch what teams they are? Do you think their careers pan out different?
No, I think each of their careers kind of go the way that it did. I don't think like Julio in Pittsburgh does not make them or does not win them a championship. Like, they were a championship level team, they just didn't win a ring. So I mean, like, I don't think. Damn. But I think their careers go exactly the way they did. Like, it's just that I think that.
I just don't think with him being the only, like, if they had more weapons throughout his career, outside of that one bad drop season, where he still put out 1,400.
He had Mickey Mouse gloves for hands during that season, but continue.
Outside of that, he has more prominent weapons throughout his career. It can help his stats a lot too, because, like you even said, to Antonio Brown's point, is
Devontae Freeman a scrub?
I don't think he's better than the Steelers running backs that they had.
No, he's not better than Le'Veon Bell. But is he a scrub? But my point is, like, you're saying, like, they couldn't run the ball, but, like, no, they could run the ball. Like, they still ran the football. Like, let's not act like they just went and played for a Super Bowl just because, like, they didn't have a good team. Like
That's
no, they
one
did.
That's what 2-3 seasons he had good.
I mean, if you want to look at like, I'm even okay. That let's just say, even for the sake of this argument, it was only 2 or 3 seasons. I think it was more than 2 or 3, but let's just say for the sake of the argument, it was 2 or 3. If you compare those 2 or 3 versus what Antonio Brown was doing for his 2 or 3, that I think that makes his 2 or 3, Julio's 2 or 3 look even worse, because when he had a running back, he dropped all them passes. Like that's my argument. And that's why I don't like, no disrespect. Once again, I think Julio is top 10. Julio is a great receiver, but Julio is not better than Antonio Brown.
Devontae Freeman had 2 seasons of 1,000 yards. That was in 15 and 16.
Okay, but we also just talked about how this man was going for 1,400 yards. This man is hard. It's hard to go for your running back to, and especially Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu was putting up 1,000-yard seasons too. Like Mohamed Sanu was no scrub. And so it's just like I understand. Trust me, I get where you're coming from. But I also think I think as a whole, like you're kind of like underestimating the team.
But my point is, the Steelers are so, like I said, the Steelers as a team were so good, like you also said.
But the division is more better competition, so they have to have a better team.
That's why bro. Having a whole better team can what? Boost your superstars, put them in positions to really shine, right? We can agree on that.
I understand what you're saying, but I also think when that offense, when my 11 is can match up against another 11 that is equally as talented, we are negating those they cancel out. Like it's also, matchups at that point.
Mohamed Sanu with the Falcons only had one season where he had over 700 yards. He only had 800.
Was Mohamed Sanu trash? It was Mohamed Sanu a bad receiver? Like once again, okay, let's not get caught up in the numbers and let's actually look at let's remember we did live through this and we watched them play. Mohamed Sanu was a damn good receiver.
He was a solid 2.
I say he was better than a solid number 2 receiver. I think in Atlanta he was a little bit better than a solid number 2 receiver.
He had a 700-yard season and an 800-yard season, but outside of that, well,
like but I mean, okay, we're looking at yards. Let's look at yards. Okay, and then you want to look at stats. How many catches did he have?
I'm gonna look at that too.
But I just think this just comes down to we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But I don't think Antonio Brown or Julio Jones is on the same level as Antonio Brown. I think that you can put them in the same atmosphere. Like, I'm not saying Antonio Brown is just that much better than Julio Jones. No, but I think there are levels to being great. And Antonio Brown enters that conversation of greatest. Julio Jones does not. Julio Jones was great when he played.
I think we could agree to disagree.
I think that's all it's going to have to come down to. Because, hey, but Antonio Brown was that nigga, is that nigga, and will be. He's a little crazy now.